can't take it back, no. I've got so much left to say, but I'll take my words and walk away.
Yo, what is up guys, your boy Jabax here, back at it again with another Wizard101 video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys what I use for my Myth PvP, Magus Myth PvP deck setup and gear setup. So maybe you guys can base off yours after mine. I was a Warlord last season. I'll show you guys my rank right now. It's not that good because, you know, the beginning of the season was horrible for me. I went 1-18 and then a bunch of stuff happened. I just sort of started streaming it and it got really bad. So my ranking's really messed up right now. But I'm going to show you guys what I use, and it's really good if you're smarter than me, which I'm 100% sure that most of you guys are smarter than me. If you guys do find this video helpful, please drop a sub and a like for more videos in the future, and it really means a lot to me, as well as hitting that notifications button to be notified every time I do post and do live streams. Alright guys, so enough with this rambling. I want to show you guys what I do so you guys can sort of base yours, your Myth Magus PvP character off of mine. So basically, I'm a commander, so I obviously have the commander gear. You guys won't start out with that, so what you're going to want to use is the Zeus gear. So you got to farm Zeus. If you don't have the Zeus gear, you shouldn't really do PvP unless you have like the Jaguars gear from the I think it's the Shaman's lore pack. Yeah, this pack, it gives you really good gear to start out with. I actually think it's better than the Zeus gear in my opinion. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I use the Zeus boots, but I put them in my bank. I don't know why I put them in my bank, but you can basically use like any sort of boot that gives you like mid damage and resist. I used the Sky Iron Hosta, this exact one, and we also used Heartsteel, which is right here, and we used a Myth Bubble amulet, but I sold it because I needed extra money for a tournament. So just act like this is a Myth, Myth Bubble amulet. We also had a random pip ring that I sold as well. It just gave me some power pip chance and some health, and yeah. From the start, we had a good pet, or we have a good pet. This is the one we have now, but we used this pet named Otis at the beginning. You don't need a good myth pet to start out. You sort of want a pet with damage and resist if you can have one, or a ward pet. It's sort of needed just because you sort of rely on RNG and gear and stats now. So you sort of want a good pet like this, but you don't really have to have one. It's just will be a lot harder for you in your way of PvP. I just use a mount. Like, mounts don't really matter too much, but I use a battle narwhal because it gives me 2 more damage. And now into the best part of this, the deck of the Lotus, the entire deck setup. Alright guys, so this is the deck I used. I'm going to show you guys what I put in it. So I put 3 stun blocks because stun blocks are really needed in Magus, since there are a lot of Magus myths, because it's probably one of the best schools for Magus PvP. You want 4 tower shields, and you want 3 volcanic shields. Now, this may seem like a lot of shields, but it's sort of needed just in case you go up against, a lot of people like this. You want 2 Cyclops minions, and you want 2 Golem minions, because these minions are really good for PvP. Like, this is good because they have 700 health, and this is good because it's 0 pips, and it takes off tower shields, and it actually does a lot. Like, if you have it over time, if they forget to kill it. We want 4 satyrs because we have a life mastery, and a life mastery is really needed. We want 2 pixies just in case we run out of satyrs, because they can be a lifesaver as well. And knowing that there's so much myths in Magus Myth PvP, you want 4 legend shields because those are really important. And then if you train into death, you can get another set. And you want 3 of these Aether Shields because there's a ton of deaths as well, because they do the Skeletal Dragon and Minotaur strategy. I'll actually do a video on that some other time. I'm actually working on a low-level death, not a low-level death character, a Magus death character on one of my other accounts. This is not my actual, well, this is my main account, but like I'm making other accounts as well. You want to have 4 myth blades because it's probably one of the most needed thing you want in your inventory, and don't think about anything else in here. You don't really need anything else. Troll minions aren't that good, so you aren't going to really want it. We're not really missing anything else. There's not much you need in this section. You don't really need 3 stuns. I put in 3 stuns just because sometimes I can't pull my basilisk, so I have to stun into something, into a double hit or something, or hit into a stun into a hit. To me, that's a really good way of killing people. 2 Time of Legends, which is the bubble which I had on my amulet. 2 trolls because I'm gonna tell you how many times you need a troll in your deck. Like whenever you're about to kill and you don't have a troll in your deck, you need a troll in your deck because like it can finish off the game for you. You don't need a bloodbath. I don't put in any, but you can put in one if you want to substitute. I would put in a Humongo Frog if there's minions, because a Humongo Frog can like save you the game. You want in 2 Cyclopses as well, and you want in 4 Ninja Pigs if you have Ninja Pigs. But if you don't have Ninja Pigs, the deck is fine without it, but you're basically going to have to rely on your TC deck. But this is basically how I rock with my TC deck. I'm going to show you guys what I do. So this is the actual deck setup. It's really good for me. It works really good. I just don't play smart. That's why I lose a lot of games, because I always go in for the hits. I never play defensive, even though my deck is a very defensive deck. So this is the TC deck. Deck of the Lotus has so many sideboard TC slots, so you're going to want to put in 4 Tower Shields. I'm not going to tell you how many times that's made Tower Shields make the game. Like, you need Tower Shields, you guys already know that. 1 Shatter. Now, Shatters are for when you get those, you know, people who spam like so many shields. I get if they put 1 shield, it's not bad because you can just Basilisk the first hit, and then it'll stun, and then it'll do an overtime. But if they set up like 4 shields, mid shields, there's nothing you can do about it, so you just have to shatter it. And it costs 3 pips only because you're a myth, so it's all good. So then you want Monstrous Enchanted Cyclopses. They do so much damage for 3 pips, 440 to 500 damage, and you want 2 of those. You want a Shift. And if you have Ninja Pigs TCs, I have Monstrous Enchanted ones because I obviously have Ninja Pigs. You want to put 3 in there. If you don't have Monstrous Enchanted, you can just put regular ones in there. You don't need Ninja Pigs. I just find it very, very, very helpful. We put in 2 Infels and 2 Basilisks, and we put in 2 Medusas. Now, the reason why I put in 2 Basilisks is because the first initial Basilisk might not kill the people because they might have shield before. That's when the Shatter comes into use. The Shift takes away any incoming or incoming like DOT, and if you don't have a Shift, you can put it up as put a Triage instead of a Shift. I just like Shifts better because they go back and do more damage, and especially since I'm a myth, it's not that much pips as well. You want 1 Orthrus in. Orthrus can save you the game, as well as you also need a Spirit Blade. And then basically that's about it. That's basically all you really need. But then another important thing is an Earthquake, because Earthquake is basically like a Shatter, except it removes literally everything, even blades. So if you want to hit, if they're about to hit but you're going first, you can just wipe out all of their blades with 1 Earthquake, and they'll get really triggered. So it's basically like an Enfeeble Shatter mixed combo, and it does 355 damage. So what is there to hate about it? That's basically it for the deck setup, guys. Basically, like, you don't really need to have the exact deck setup, but if it's similar, I'm guaranteed that you're going to be able to get to Warlord at least once. This is the deck setup that got me to Warlord myself. And yeah, also, guys, get the Deck of the Lotus because it has a Triangle Jewel. And a Triangle Jewel, you can put so many things on it. You can get blades. You can put like that one Morgant spell. You can put like accuracy jewels and pip chance jewels. This is one of the best decks. This is the best deck for Magus. So try and get the Deck of the Lotus. I have 3 of them, so they're actually pretty common in the bazaar. So yeah, sort of look for that, guys. But now, once you're a commander, this is the setup you guys might want to have. So by the time you're commander, you're probably already going to have a good pet. So we're just going to put on our really good pet. So you want the Cowl of Tribulation. Cowl of Tribulation is really good. It's part of the full commander set. So you're going to really want it. Then you'll want the Coat of Invincibility, because that's the best commander set or commander piece of the whole entire commander set. So you're going to want that robe. And then you also have the Fakir of the Indomitable, which is the boots. And these don't cost that much tickets. It's just the hardest thing to get to is to get to Commander in order to get this gear. You're going to want the Sky Iron Hostel. Let me put on my flute because, you know, it looks cool. It looks cool. You're going to want the Duelist Fatal Razor. It's probably the best thing you can get at the level and at stage you are in PvP. You want the life mastery? It's a must. You need a life mastery if you're a myth Magus because you don't have much health and you gotta heal back if they hit you with something pretty crazy. So yeah, you need a life mastery, and if you can't do that, you can substitute it for something. It just might be a little bit hard for PvP. I still got to Warlord without it, but it's gonna be a little bit harder. Duelist Daredevil ring, 7 extra damage. Can't hate. It's like a really good ring. It's sort of needed once you get to Commander, because everybody else has it. And a pet. So any pet is fine. It just should have damage and resist. This is the pet I use right now, so yeah, it's really good, and it gives Sharpen Blade, you know, cards, so it's really good. So I can Sharpen Blade a blade, and then I can regular blade, and then I can pet blade, and then I can you know, then I can just do the deck blade, which is really cool, and I can do a TC blade. So there's a lot of blades I can do with this armament pet. But yeah, there's also a myth armament pet that, armament pet that you can get, which is really good, but it's just sort of hard, you know, to get good talents on it. And yeah, you just want the deck of the Lotus, and you want it to look like this. And if you guys do the right steps, and you guys have all of this gear, you should be able to get to Warlord pretty easily. Without the pet, the stats are still really good. 47 damage and 35 resist without a pet. This is without a pet. So if you get a pet sort of similar to mine, well, for example, we'll put on Otis. This is probably the most reasonable pet. This pet took me, you know, forever, or where's Jake? Took me forever to get. So this is a more reasonable pet. Your stats will still be looking like this. So 71 damage and 44 resist, which is still very phenomenal. So yeah, guys, that's about it for the video. If this video did help you guys out, please drop a like down below. Also, consider hitting that subscribe button for more videos and notification button to be notified every time I do post those videos. Thank you guys very much for watching. It's Jabax signing out. Love you guys all to death, and peace.
King of Kings SpongeBob, Gunshot, das Plankton in dem Brand Gangster Schwammkopf mit der Gun SpongeBob